Now we're just heading out on Route 1 in Tallaght. So just leaving the car parking space here, taking it nice and slow. Make sure you take good observation, and particularly take good observation coming out through the exit here. Just look up and down the footpath. We're going right as we move out here, so really slow, just in case there's any pedestrians or cyclists on the footpath. So good check left and right. Once it's clear, then we move off out into the road. This is Broomhill Road, and it is a 50 zone. Now you can't always get up to 50 on it depending on parked cars or trucks, but if you can, try and get up to 50 and into 4th gear. A lot of people get marked on this road for a lack of progress. We're going too slow. Down to the end of the road here, coming down onto Green Hills Road, we're going to be turning left, and there's a couple of things just to watch for here. Again, it's easy to pick up a couple of faults. Number one is, once they give you the direction, once you get reasonably close, just check your mirrors as usual, signal left. Make sure you come to a complete stop, but not at the stop sign, down at the line, which isn't very visible. Make sure you have your car positioned to the left. Now once you stop at the line, just try and move forward very slowly, just to get a better view up the road. If you stay behind the stop line, you won't see traffic coming from the right. If you go too far past the stop line, you're going to end up in the cycle lane, which you don't want to do either. So just take it very slowly. So back out onto Green Hills Road. We're just continuing straight on. Avoid going into the cycle lane unless you have to avoid oncoming traffic. So just stopping behind another vehicle, make sure you can see their back wheels on the road. And we're just going to apply the handbrake. If you're first or second in line, even third in line, but particularly first or second, you can be in 1st gear ready to go. Just make sure you have your clutch fully depressed. Don't have it at the bite point, you'll burn out your clutch. But if you're further back in the line of traffic, it's fine to be in neutral, just to give you a foot of rest. Just have a quick check in your mirrors as you're moving off. Just make sure there's no cyclists or motorbikes coming up alongside you. And again, stay out of the cycle lane. There's enough room here in this lane for a car, so you don't need to go into the cycle lane unless you need to avoid something on some oncoming traffic. Down to the next junction, we're going to be turning right. Again, a lot of people get this wrong, so mirrors and signal. We have a car already waiting to turn, so we move into the box. We have a solid green light, so we're going to turn before the oncoming traffic, the oncoming car approaches with plenty of time. Mirror signal again, turning right. Again, changing lane, take really good observation. Don't overshoot the turn. Just where the arrow is there, just turn around the center of the road, and as you can see, we're in a 30 zone here. Not a speed ramp, so you're probably not going to be able to go over 30 anyway. Taking the first left into Tymonville Avenue. Following the road around to the right onto Tymonville Park. We'll generally pull you in along here on this section of the road where the hills start, so just make sure you take good observation moving off, and make sure you signal moving off. So when he asks you to pull in and stop, check your mirrors, signal left that you're pulling in, cancel your signal, and then put on your right signal. It could take you in right here after the hills start into Tymonville Lawn to do the turnabout, although usually there's quite a lot of cars in that road, so it'd be difficult, but they do use that road. Down to the end here, we're going left. This is a closed junction, so it's important that you come back into 1st gear. You don't necessarily have to come to a complete stop, but make sure you're coming out really slowly, that you have enough time to look both ways and make sure it's clear before moving out. At the end of this road, we're turning right. So again, it's a closed junction, we can't see what's happening both sides, so mirrors and signal. Back into 1st gear, just roll into 1st, have a look. We're on Timon Road North here. Again, quite a lot of ramps around. sure you don't get too close to parked cars. Don't weave in and out. So if you see a parked car up ahead, move out in good time once it's safe to do so. If you drive up behind parked cars and indicate to move out for no reason, then you're going to get marked for reaction to hazard. Here we have a parked car, so we're already out. No need to signal, you're already out. Putting your signal on too much can be misleading. People might think you're turning right. Here on the left they used to use for the reverse around the corner, but they don't do it anymore as there was an accident a couple of years ago. Again, keeping out from the white van here, there's just looking around the bend. On the inside of the van there's nothing coming towards, so it's safe to go. So this corner here on the left where we see the silver car just pulled in, that is a corner they can use for the reverse. We're going to take the next road on the right, so it's not as far as the main road, so it's the next road on the right. So mirrors and signal, be really careful here. There's no road markings here on this section of the road, so don't cut the corner. It's very easy to misjudge this and turn too early into the road and cut the corner. So we're just going to pull in up along here to do the turnabout maneuver. So the tester will ask you to pull in and stop on the left. So again, mirrors and signal. Once you've stopped, then just turn off the signal, because otherwise you might pull away with the left signal on. Apply the handbrake, listen for the direction you're given. So the tester will ask you to turn the car around on the road to face the opposite way, and that you may go over and back more than once if necessary, which means it's not a 3-point turn. But the key words are if necessary. So if the tester deems it wasn't necessary for you to go over and back more than once, in other words, if it takes you 5 or 7 attempts to get the car turned, could easily get a mark. So your driving instructor should be able to coach on this. So you can't obviously touch the curb or go into anyone's driveway. Make sure you take really good observations. So into first gear, check your rear view and right mirror, assuming there's nothing coming behind. Signal right and look all around, do a full 360, make sure there's nobody coming. Try not to dry steer, so move the car forward just a little bit and then full lock on the wheel as quick as you can. And then before stopping, just turn off the wheel, just straighten your wheels. Apply the handbrake if you need to. Look all around again, start back looking over your left shoulder, out the back window, and then about halfway back turn, look over your right shoulder down at the curb. Make sure you don't hit the curb. Apply the handbrake again if you need to, if there's a camber on the road. Make sure you look left at this point, make sure there's nobody coming up from your left, and right then obviously as you're moving off. Now they could pull you in at this stage to do the hand signals if they haven't already done them, but they may get you to pull in anyway, and you'll see your observation moving off. So we're going right here. So again, back into first gear, just looking, make sure it's safe. Down to the end of this road, we're going right. Stop sign, stop line, make sure you come to a complete stop. Look left and right, nobody coming, so we can proceed. So we're out onto Castletimon Road. The ramps on this road are reasonably low, they're not too bad, so you can generally do them in third gear. If you have enough of a gap between ramps, go back into fourth. Slowing down, the pedestrian lights here are red, so you can see they're flashing amber now, so there's nobody on the crossing, we can proceed. You just slow down coming into a red light like that, then you don't have to stop if they've changed back before you get to them. The individual ramps here that they put in, just try and avoid them as much as you can. You're not going to be able to fully avoid them, but try and get your wheels either side of the ramp and not hit them full on. end of this road we're going to be turning left. So at the traffic lights, there's a cycle track here on the left, a solid line across it. Make sure you don't go into it. It'll be hard to see today, the sun is quite bright. But so mirror signal, coming back into second gear for the turn. Quick check, make sure there's in your left mirror, make sure no cyclists coming up. Quick glance to the right. Quite a tight turn here, make sure you stay on your own side of the road. So we're coming down towards the only roundabout on this route, and they're going to take you all the way around and back up the road. So it's the third exit, so it's third exit all the way back around and back up this road. So mirrors and signal, so you're signaling right, you're going all the way around. Obviously watch for the pedestrian crossing. As we come around the roundabout, just if the indicator goes off, put it back on again. Watch for any cars come out from the left here. Sometimes they don't think you're going to go all the way around. Signal left as you're leaving, again checking the pedestrian crossing. And we're going to be taking the next left. So rear view and left mirror, signal left. Check your mirrors again. Look into the road, make sure it's safe to turn. Take the next right. Again, rear view right mirror, check your mirrors again, quick look into the road, make sure it's safe to turn. Don't cut the corner, don't swan neck. We have parked car up ahead on the left, so we're just staying out straight away, not going up behind it. These ramps are reasonably high, so I'm just going to take it in second gear. Car up ahead is reversing, as you can see, so we're just going to let him go. Check your mirrors, move out. And again, we have parked cars up ahead. We have an oncoming car as well. So we're just going to hang back and let them go. They're already out, so we're going to let them go. So the hazard is on both sides of the road. Nobody as such has priority, but they were already out. So we're going to indicate, check your mirrors, indicate that you're moving off there, you're moving out, and just stay out. Here we're already out, there's a car coming into the road, so we're going to let them pull in if they need to, but we should be able to go back in. They're pulling in for us. So just give her a wave, thank you. Perfectly fine to wave to somebody, acknowledge them if they've pulled in for you, that's just common courtesy. Down to the end here, we're going right. It's a yield junction, but again, there's a lot of parked cars around here, so really slow, take really good observation. Car parked here near the junction. This one here, we have to stop at the stop line, but it's quite a way back from the main road, so we're going to stop fully, apply the handbrake if you need to, and then move forward. Be careful not to turn your wheel too early here, easy to go up on the footpath. So there's traffic coming from the right, so again just going to apply the handbrake here. It's quite a steep hill. Once it's safe, check your mirrors again. Away we go. So we're back out onto the main road, back into Tallaght Village. Again, try and get up to 50 and into fourth gear as quickly as you can. Again, a lot of people get marked for progress here, being too slow, but don't go to the other extreme or go too fast. It's very often a speed camera van just around the corner here as well, or just around the bend. So up into Tallaght Village, we're going to be going right at the lights. Just watch for the road markings here. We've got keep clear, and we've got yellow boxes, so don't drive in and stop in them. So we've got enough room to go by to keep clear. So yellow box here, we're just going to stop and wait here. Into neutral and apply the handbrake. Okay, so the light has gone green for traffic to proceed straight ahead, which will allow us to move forward and go into the right lane. So again, just a quick check in your right mirror, make sure it's safe moving across. So here, because we have the arrows, we cannot obviously move into the centre of the road. The arrow for going straight ahead goes red then, and then there's a couple of seconds gap, and then the green arrow comes on, which allows us to go. Traffic is quite heavy around here today. So again, remember, if it's a solid green light on the traffic light, you must go into the centre and take possession of the junction, particularly if you're first in line. If there are arrows, you cannot go in, you have to obey the arrow. So if there's a red arrow for turning right and you're going right, you must stay behind the stop line. Making our way down Green Hills Road, it's 50 zone as you can see. Make sure you don't go over the speed limit, but try and keep up with traffic as much as you can once you're staying within the speed limit. Applying the handbrake. If you're going to be stopping for any length of time, just put your handbrake on. Quick check in the mirrors again before moving off, just make sure everything behind is clear. And I'm going to take the next right, so rear view right mirror, signal right, don't go over too early, watch the hatch markings. Again, we have a turning box here. We're just going to go in and wait for the oncoming traffic. If the light goes red while you're here, you must proceed once it's safe to do so. Don't stay in the junction and block it. It'll be an automatic fail in your driving test if you did that. Take the next left, so rear view left mirror, signal left, back into second gear, slowly off the clutch, just quick glance into the road, make sure it's safe. Just coming around the back of Power City down to the end of this road, we're going to be turning left. Again, it's a closed junction, it means you cannot see what's happening left or right. So back into first gear, keep reasonably close to the left. Again, keep glancing left and right, and out you go if it's safe. Back to the end of this road here, we're coming back out onto the Green Hills Road, we're turning left, and then immediately right, back up Broom Hill Road, back towards the test centre. So mirrors and signal left. Don't cut the corner, turning around the centre of the road. See, we have a parked car up ahead, so again, stay out from the car once there's nobody coming towards you. Try and allow a door's width. Say that you're coming towards the end of your test if you just make your way back into the car park and find a suitable place to park. So check your mirrors, signal left, back into second gear. It's a good idea to go back into first gear though as you come through here, because it's quite tight. Just nice and slow, make sure you look left and right, and then just park in a suitable spot here. We're just going to park in on the right. That's the end of Route 1.